Yeah, good morning again. This is Rabbi Shlomo Furst at Yeshiva Tsama Nafshi, Yerushalyim HaKodesh, located in the Hanahi Yeshiva's Beit Knesset on Rehovot Zikron Yaakov number 6. We're getting ready for Pesach, Mishna Berura, Siman Taf Ayin Beis. We'll be learning about Dalet Koisus, the wine, Taf Ayin Beis, in Siv Yud Beis. Taf Ayin Beis, Siv Yud Beis. By the way, it's official. We're learning Bez Hashem for those who want to participate after Rosh Chodesh for the basically 2 weeks before Pesach. So we're starting off here in this room as usual and continuing Bez Hashem.
So we're going to be learning all week next week?
I hope so. Bez Hashem. Basically from 9:30 to 12:30. Those are the official hours. 9:30 to 12:30.
And the week after, though, we'll be off.
Also the week after that too. Well, you know, the Yom Khamishi of the following week, which would be Yud Daled, a bit busy morning. You have to. Well, actually, no, because the Erev Shabbos, when Yud Daled is Erev Shabbos, we can go straight on. We can go to straight 2 weeks.
Right.
Well, sure. We should be able to do it. No reason to stop.
Tell your wife, I'd like to help you, but I don't have a show.
Yeah, you have an excuse now.
I'm just thinking. I don't have to tell my wife. Great.
Help in the afternoon and evenings.
Just kidding.
Like they used to say in the Vardik, right? In the Vardik used to say you should have I said this last week or two, a week ago or two, that you should have a kosher Purim and a Freilich Pesach. Everyone's going to be kosher for Pesach. Right? Like they say that the biggest kashash of chametz is the matzahs you're eating. That's the biggest kashash. You're not going to be eating cookies off the floor, that's for sure.
Right.
I don't think you're going to be doing that. So, yeah. Let's continue again at Taf Ayin Beis, Yud Beis. Amar, you like to read a bit?
Thank you. Yotzin b'yayim mevusho uvet konditon.
Right.
Yotze with a wine that has been boiled, and konditon is wine that you add honeys and spices.
Right, and Mevusha, by the way, in most cases will be considered pasteurized. Most of the wines, unless they're very good wine. No, I'm not sure you don't have to be very good wines. If it's a moderately priced wine, then it's probably going to be Mevusha. If it's more an expensive wine, the odds are it's not going to be Mevusha, right? So
Yotzin b'yayim mevusho.
Yeah, Mishna Berura.
Ulechatchila, in the first place, Yotov yoter likach Hashem, it was better to take one that's non-mevusho.
Yeah, so therefore you might have to spend a little extra money to find a wine which is not mevusha. Although you should know the Kedim wines, the big bottles.
Right.
The big bottles are not mevusha.
That's right.
Right. So if you like that style of wine, right, you can go for that. You got yourself a tequila.
If you have a mixture of people,
yeah,
everybody's Jewish, but
right.
a mixture of hashkafas coming.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do if you're having low mevusha wine? Is there a problem with people touching it?
Yeah, it could be a problem.
So is it better just to have mevusha?
Yeah, it's better just avoid it. If you have it, because especially on LC, you have to invite people. It's a mitzvah to invite people. It's a mitzvah to try to encourage people. And nevertheless, there is a serious question about the touching the wine. So the best thing is just
And that's because you suspect them of a Berura?
No, a person who's machal Shabbos before Hesi has a din of an Akim, a din of a non-Jew. Whether they're either Berura or not, that's not too. You don't find too many people doing a Berura these days, at least in the classical sense, right? So that's not. But they have any non-Jew, and also unfortunately a Jew, according to many poskim, who is not Shom Shabbos, has a halakhic status of a non-Jew in terms of these laws.
What does Condotia mean?
Condotia, that's a mixture of wine with spices and honey. Very good.
Sangria.
Yeah, it's also good. Right? Yeah. That's right.
Okay. Unless the mevushal is much better.
Oh, so then it becomes tequila. If it happens to be that the mevushal is very much better, right? Then it becomes tequila. Now from here you see a very important point about the wine that you should be taking for your dalakos. You should take wine which is good. which is much better. Now what is that?
What about sparkling wine?
That's not spoken about. That should be also acceptable. You don't see any reason why. The only problem could be about you're supposed to drink the kois basically in two gulps, right? So sparkling wine may disturb your throat if you don't ingest the bubbles properly. So it may not be so good.
What about alcohol content? Can you have a very low alcohol content?
Oh, so you have in our times you have these wines which are low alcohol. Now there's several. They used to make them in different ways. You have to know. In general, they should all be good. There is a discussion in the poskim about it because sometimes what they do is they stop the fermentation process in the middle. In which case, some poskim say that it never. It's really worse. It's not really grape juice and it's not really wine. It's sort of a third type of a thing. So some poskim were not so happy with that, right? So, but it all depends on the process. Some they develop a way of maximizing the alcohol content to a number 4, 5, 6, 7%, right? Because some of these Kenem wines you can get 7%, if I'm not mistaken. Some of them hold 12, maybe. I'm not sure if the Kenem wines are 14.
Well, we usually drink Moscato, which is like about 6 or 5%.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So is that a problem, or is there some way to find out?
Again, how you have to know. There are certain people who know about the process. I have a friend. He's a very big expert in wines. If I see him, I can ask him.
Okay.
Or I can give him his phone number. He could call him, and maybe he might know the ins and outs of some of these things. He's a real expert in wines.
Okay, that'd be helpful.
Yeah. But I think the Moscatos are not. I don't think they are stopped in the process. They're just developed that they should reach a maximum of what is it, about 5 or 6%, something like that. Yeah. Yeah, let's see.
Okay.
One second, I just want to clarify something. Number 45. Yeah, you see number 45. Those of you had the one just reading number 45 here. We said if we said again in the Mishna, you should pick the one which is not mabushal. Im lo mishul tov yosef. The one that's not mabushal is better. What if they're equal in number 45? Take a look there.
Yes, the HaKodesh al yayin she'enu mabushal. He wrote that it's better to make kiddush on wine that's not mabushal. L'chosh l'kat ha'omim shelo l'kadosh al mabushal. To follow the opinion of those that say that you don't choose mabushal wine.
Right. When it comes to every Shabbos night, so you have the same question: whether you should pick wine which is mabushal, wine is not mabushal. So there are those opinions that say that you should not make kiddush on wine which is mabushal. Mm-hmm. Right. So therefore, if everything's being equal, you should pick and that's why I said with Katchila you should take the Eina mabushal. Okay, very good.
V'chen ki ha'gavna v'nyakontito.
What was he saying that you should
Take wine which is not mabushal.
It's hard to find it is. Because most bars, there are.
No, so again, like if you're willing to spend 50 shekels plus for a bottle of wine, you'll be able to find it.
The little wineries, it's called little wineries.
Yeah, and also if you go for the Kedem big bottles.
Right.
Yeah. Which is that's if I don't think Kedem has this dry wine. They have a semi.
They have that.
Yeah, Kedem.
The Bartonora wine is Kedem.
Bartolomews Kedem.
If I'm not mistaken, Bartonora is, I think. If I'm not mistaken.
Is it better to have dry wine?
Whatever you prefer. Whatever you prefer.
It doesn't make you. It keeps you up longer.
I have one of my sons that just drinks with soda. What is it called inside? It's with the bubbles inside, like champagne.
Mm.
He says you don't get drunk from it. That's what they told him. So he drinks 4 glasses of walking the wine. I don't know he doesn't.
Yeah. Look, with Dalit Kush, you really shouldn't be getting drunk. I mean, if you take a minimal share and Kiddush is going to be like at 7 o'clock. Then by the time you have the second Kush, it's going to be 8 o'clock. And the third Kush is going to be 9:45. the last course is gonna be, 11 o'clock. Yeah, it's like, it's spread out. No reason why you should get drunk from that. They could, the
Well, it
key.
depends on the percentage. If you're drinking wine, it's
Yeah.
like 16%.
Yeah, also, but
You get
still,
drunk from it.
well, okay, good, it could affect you, I don't know if you get drunk from it. The key is not so much how you drink, the key to being successful in the Seder is to get rest, to get enough rest the night
Yeah.
before, that's the more thing. People are up doing all kinds of different things.
Washing dishes all day, what do you know?
Yeah. Okay.
V'chen ki ha'gavna le'inyan konditon. The same thing applies for this konditon wine.
Okay.
For the what?
Konditon wine. The same laws apply that if you can get the non-bevushal, if you can use wine that's not konditon, that's not
Mixed.
mixed with honey and peppers, you should use regular wine.
Oh,
You should-
conditent means mixed. Okay.
Konditon.
I didn't understand that.
I think they used to, it's still in the market, they have a wine that's called Conditon, it's a very, very sweet, very
Oh.
thick wine.
Yeah, I think it's
Still not, still
yes.
around?
But it's the same thing. Mem, with konditon.
What is Conditon? Here's your recipe, if you want to make
Perish.
it.
Sheme'ora bo tvash u'pal, that you mix in there honey and pepper.
Right.
Ve'ayin le'el simanayim ra'ish beit seif chet u'ma shekatavnu sham ve'hu adin lekam. The same thing that we wrote over there, it's the same thing for over here.
So in other words, that's not advisable, that kind of wine.
Right. With cookie.
It's permissible, but it's not
Not recommended.
recommended.
Okay, that will take us to Yud Gimel.
Where are we?
In the
Mishna Berura. Gimel. Afilu ani hamitparnes min tzedaka yimkor malbusho o yilvei o yaskir atzmo bishvil yayin navakosos. Even a poor person who takes money from the tzedaka, he should sell his clothing. He should he should borrow. He should hire himself for the wine for the 4 cups.
right, you might have heard the mice with the brisker Rav.
Right, milk.
Very original, yeah, the brisker Rav. It was someone came to brisker Rav every Pesach, and he asked the brisker Rav if he could be used milk for Dalit Kaisis, right? So the brisker Rav understood. So he said to the Rebbetzin to go to the tzedakah fund that they had and give him money for wine, and he also said give him money for meat also. So Rebbetzin asked him, what did he just ask for about the wine? What are you telling me, giving me money for meat also? So he's asking about Dalit Kaisis on milk. Yeah, he has no meat also because the last 2 kaisis are after you've eaten the meat.
Right.
So obviously he doesn't
I
have
have no
any meat.
food at home. He has no
Right.
food at home.
There's no food, so give him enough money for everything. Yeah. This goes to show you have to analyze the
understands.
situation. Yeah, Rav understands. To see out the Shema.
Well, okay. Mem Aleph. Afilu ani in the bottom.
Where are you?
Mem Aleph in the bottom. Yud Gimel, Mem Aleph. Mishna Berura.
The left side,
Mishna Berura.
the left side,
Mem Aleph.
the second row.
I see Mem Bet.
Okay, go to
Go to the other side.
the next page maybe? Go back a page.
Previous page.
Bottom of the bottom of the columns. Mem Aleph, here you go. Feel
Mem
it.
Aleph, got it, thank you.
Sure.
Afilu ani. Umi she'en lo ela arba kosot achar meziga, and one who only has 4 cups after meziga, which means he added water.
Mhm.
Yikach hakol lelala rishon. He should drink it all on the first night.
I mean, again, he's talking about in reference to
The poor person.
Kuslaw,
Chutzah,
right? It's Kuslaw, so he's got only enough night for 4 cups, and really for the first night, the second night needs 8 cups altogether. So he's saying the first night, go for the first night completely.
The ner beto adif ner bakosov, and the light for the house is more important than 4 cups. Mishum shalom bay, because of shalom bayis.
I mean, so if you have a choice between buying wine or buying
Candles.
oil or candles for the house, you buy candles or oil for the.
Misha en lo ela shtayim v'shalosh kosov. And what somebody who only has 2 cups or 3 cups for the 4 cups. As ayin simon ben Magen Avram, so you should look up the Magen Avram about how you should handle it.
Right, because if you only have 2 or 3, so something's got to go. So which ones are you supposed to drop out? I would imagine. I imagine you definitely have to make kiddush.
1 and 3 for sure.
Yeah, I would think so.
Because other things that you're starting again eventually.
Yeah.
One is the benching.
1 to 3 for sure, yeah.
See, the benching, although, to tell you the truth, there's a matlokas where they have to bench on the course. In general, we possibly you should, especially in a group.
But you can do the mitzvah with the Navi with the wine from the benching over there.
What's that?
You open up the door and everything, yeah, with the wine and everything, so everything's together.
Ask you, he's there, you ask him to bring
Yeah.
for everyone out.
You should bring you more wine.
No, but benching closes everything you've already, even by starting benching, we make the bracha by after the first and third bracha we make. We don't make 2 and 4. Because after benching, everything is over. So you need to make a bar priya geffen after benching to be able to drink. Otherwise, you can't continue.
That's a shim of the ochen.
Yeah.
We don't make all 4 blessings on one.
You need to say Berura Guffin so you can drink? I don't understand that.
We say Ashkenazim say bar priya geffen, all 4 cups to drink the wine.
Right?
Sephardim only say it on the first and the third.
Right.
The first because it's kiddush, and the third because after benching, what you already drank is over because benching cleans up everything. So you have to make a bar priya geffen to start drinking again.
The 4th cup.
For the 3rd cup.
Third
The 4th
and
cup, we don't say a bracha bar
Right.
priya geffen. It's carried on. The first carries to the 2nd, and the 3rd carries to the 4th. That's Sephardim, not
Okay,
Ashkenazim.
so you have to say it on the 3rd.
Well, I would
or
say
the 4th.
if you don't have enough, I would say that it would be the 1st and 3rd because the 1st can carry you. So if you don't drink it, but after benching, you need to have another cup because then you can't continue drinking if you don't make a bar priya geffen back home.
Right. Okay.
That's what I would think, but I'm not around.
But
Yeah,
you're
you
not,
have to- I'm
you're saying you're not going to have the 4th cup in this case.
But we're talking about a person who doesn't have enough. That's what we just learned, right?
Right, yeah.
We learned that we
So
only have
therefore it
two
doesn't
cups.
matter whether you can drink more because you have to drink more anyway.
But if you only have 2 cups, then I would say the important ones is the 1st and the 3rd. If you have 3 cups, I don't know if it's the 2nd or the 4th. I don't know which one.
Is
It is.
that-
Or you could, I mean, you could maybe just postpone the kosher bracha until after the holiday.
There's no dugma.
You
There's
can do that too.
no.
You can do that.
You have to see the
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not saying.
It's not been done. This dugma. They don't have that. Isn't that what happens?
No, you have to take a
It
look
says
at
you have to look it up.
Because Dafka in Boreka Adama,
Yeah.
it's sitting down. If you don't have,
Yeah,
you should do the moral. You should do the moral.
right.
at
I
the
guess it
end.
must be a big one over there.
That's big time.
A big talk over there. He didn't bring this home. Usually he brings, as Magen Avraham says, he didn't write that. So obviously, he wants you to look it up.
Even the Dershu didn't do us a favor and put the
That's right.
word down. Okay, if I have a chance, I'll take a look.
Right.
Okay, Mitzvah Shem. So what should he do if he only has if he's lacking? He should yimker milbusha. He could sell his clothes if
That's right.
necessary.
Hainu, that's the mem base.
Yeah, members.
Yim Kamalu. Hainu, Ima Gabayim lo natnu, if the Gabayim did not
I
give
mean,
him.
for some reason he was skipped over. He was, the Gabayim, really, the people who were in charge of tzedakah funds should be on the lookout to find out all the people who need to make sure that they have everything they need for the last Seder.
Afa Pichen, Ein lo lifter atzmo. Even so, he should not take away his obligation.
Right, he says they didn't give me, I'm expecting they didn't give me, so, I'm putter. No, you're not putter.
Achem be'emet hem mechuyavim liten la'anim arba kosas, because
The Gabayim were obligated to make sure he has our recourses.
Right. That, I'll say another word. I'll say in Israel, when it comes to chesed for Pesach, it is an unbelievable thing. I mean, I don't know if you guys walk around to see and buy the gun. Every driveway for a franc, you go with the wagon, you go from one to one. You take cases of this and cases of this and cases of this. Over here in Beit Yisrael, I think it is, the whole street is it's closed up. They closed the whole street. It's like trailers. We're not talking
It depends
about.
what depends what color you are. That is.
I'm not gonna. I want to only think good.
Tell
I only want
it
to think
say
good.
that.
And then in Betzalel, there's a Betzalel also has a big thing, and there's lineups unbelievable. The chesed that happens in Israel, God bless it. It's
Reminds me, I want to give you mouse.
Most chitim, yeah, very good, okay. Right, anyone has more chitim, they want to give people I can transfer to people. Yeah, it used to be the Yad Eliezer by where we live. They used to have a tent
Yeah.
They would take the size of a football field, right? And they
It's
fill it with all kinds
unbelievable.
of,
It's
everything they
unbelievable.
need, matzahs, potatoes, wine,
No, 'cause
grapes,
it's-
oil, everything is necessary. Now I think they give out slushim, I think it saves them in terms of the,
Well, they got,
yeah. No, because it was a big thing, setting up the tent, bringing all the
Yeah.
stuff in, the lines up and the pulling away and
Pushing,
everything.
people
there.
pushing, everyone, that's a family kid. So I'm just saying, when it says that Rabbi forgot to give him, I just want to say that if he got forgiven, it wasn't because he nasty, it was just they forgot. Because the chesed that happens
Yeah,
is,
Baruch Hashem.
Baruch Hashem is what
Yeah.
Mehani al eze mekomot she'en mashkichim al zeh, and there's a few places that are not.
Utzamahani, I'm wondering, I'm bewildered about these places that they don't
not
take
careful
care of
with
this. They're not supervising this.
Lo davar zeh pashut u'mivur become poskim. This is something that's very plain and very explained by a lot of poskim that you have to make sure that they all have.
Yes, obviously, this is something obvious, and so therefore he's wondering, how can places not be interested in doing this for some reason? Have to make some type of a tikkun for this.
I still don't understand.
Yes.
How can it say that he has to sell his clothing? If he's that poor, then presumably he doesn't have any extra clothes. If he sells his clothing, he can't go out of his house. What sense does that
I mean,
make?
you sometimes you see that. You see the person has to sell the shirt off his back.
He can't go out of his house with no shirt on.
Right. So he'll just have to stay home. But he'll have his dollar, he'll have his dollar coat, he'll have his coat. Again, it's an extreme situation.
Shirt off his back can also mean, if you have an extra table, an extra chair, he doesn't necessarily
That
need
means
clothing.
that's the
same.
extreme limit. Meaning, obviously, if he has a camera lying around, or he has an extra watch or something.
Right, but presumably, if he's that poor, he doesn't have any of that stuff.
Well, I mean, sometimes people have things, but they don't think about selling them unless, they're in a tight situation. And now, for some reason, again, Baruch Hashem, we don't, in our circles, in our civilization, we don't see this too often, but there are people, unfortunately, they really don't have, they really don't have.
Mem Gimel, Rabba Kosas for the 4 cups. Shel Yayin or Chama Medina, of wine or Chama Medina, the drink of the country. Rabba Kosas Mitkinu Keneged Abba Lashon Shigula, and the 4 cups were established against the 4 languages of Geula. V'otzeiti Tekima, V'otzeitechem Tekivad, V'yitzatitchem, and I saved you, V'ga'alti, and I rescued you, V'lakachtitchem, and I took you. So that's why we have 4 cups of wine.
So you could actually have 4 cups of coffee instead of 4 cups of wine?
If coffee is considered Kamar Medina, in some cases it is, yeah, true, it is considered Kamar Medina. So that would be, if you don't have the wine.
Then would that be considered preferable to grape juice?
No, grape juice is, in general, it would be, the order of hierarchy would be as follows: wine, right? Wine which is not negotiable, wine which is negotiable. In both of those cases, wine which is red, right? Unless white wine would be preferable in some way to the red wine. Then you have grape juice. Or perhaps even before that, you have a mixture: 51% wine, 49% grape juice. Then you have grape juice. Then you have water.
What about watered down?
If it's, you have to be very careful, because our wines are so weak. Our wine is so weak that you could, with a little bit of water added, lose the whole rock of grape up. So therefore, if you add grape juice, the remaining, it's still considered wine, it's still considered grape juice in terms of grape up. And if you add water, you may lose the whole mitzias existence of being a glass of wine. So you have to be careful about any water. Yeah, but it could be, again, you have to know. You have to know exactly how much it'll tolerate.
What would have been the answer to the guy's question about milk? Milk is
So
not
that was his question. The question is, milk considered Kamar Medina? That was came to the Rav. That was the question. Can it be yotze with milk? Is that considered Kamar Medina?
I see.
Yeah. In general, some poskim say that Coca-Cola soft drinks may be considered comorbid, others say not. It's kind of a machlokas.
Right.
Something like iced tea. Yeah, they have all these, these bottled soft drinks these days. Again, because the whole, as I spoke about yesterday, the whole situation of Kamardina is different than it was classically. Classically, it was you go to a certain region and they'd have certain
Like in Japan, what do they drink in Japan? What is it called? What they
Sake.
from rice. Sake. Yes.
Sake.
So they would maybe that they would have it. They would drink Japan.
Yeah, right.
One more?
Yeah, one more we have it.
Gam hanashim chayav b'arba kosot,
So that-
u'b'chol mitzvot hanagol. Even the women. they,
That's back in the Machabra.
I'm sorry.
Right?
Top 14. You got it.
You Dalit on the top 14. Gam women, also women. Go ahead.
Gam hanashim chayav b'arba kosot. Also the women are obligated to drink the 4 cups. U'b'chol mitzvot hanagos b'otolah. And all the mitzvahs that we customarily do on that night.
That's right.
Now in the bottom, Mem Dalet. Gam hanashim chayavot. The af shehu mitzvah shezman grama. Even though it is a mitzvah that it has a time limit, nikol mamakom chayavot. In any case, they are obligated. She'af hen hayu beotones, because they were also in the same miracle. They were also saved for me.
Right?
Mitzvahs and la'agots and all the mitzvahs of the night can go like matzah, mar, and merit agada. Like saying the matzah, the mar, and merit agada. Why is that we always say the 3 mitzvahs of the night? It's matzah, mar, and haggadah. But we never say the 4 cups. And yet the 4 cups has a tremendous establishment of the night, because that's like the seder of the night. You just work around the 4 cups.
Right.
But we don't mention that. I was just wondering.
Could be, well, I mean,
That's not
first of all,
special.
Mas is Doraisa, more Bisman is the Rabban, and Miras Agad is also Doraisa.
Every holiday we drink wine.
What?
Every holiday we drink wine.
Yeah, no, but you have 4 cups, and we
Yeah.
said that even a poor person has to go and sell
Right.
his shirt off his
Right,
back
right,
for
right,
wine.
right.
And yet, you
Makes
know,
it seem pretty important.
that's what I'm saying. But when it comes to the
Yeah.
mitzvahs of the night, it's not one of the mitzvahs that we talk
Yes.
about. I mean, we've talked about it in the sense of the night. But we don't in the list of the mitzvahs. It's never listed as one of the mitzvahs of the
Is
night.
it the Rabbanan, the 4 cups?
Yes.
Yes.
That's what we saw previously. We saw in Mem Gimel, Arba Kosus Tiknu. The Lashon Tiknu, they were established. That's the Lashon of the Rabbanan. The Rabbanan, they established the mitzvah of Dalet Kosus based on the 4 Lashonos Agula that the Torah itself uses,
One has to sold his shirt on the back to get out of Christmas.
if necessary. Right?
Hij is Baruch Shem Baruch in the forward.
Yeah. And obviously, for matzah also, you need to,
Right.
obviously, it's with the rice. Okay, very good. We'll continue with.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.